Hi friends, it's Jeff Hudson with Relational Gravity and My Penny Earned. Welcome back to the Relational Podcast, where we learn to make a difference to those we serve, including both our customers and our employees. This episode kicks off a new series focused on business owners and their advisors. Today I'm joined by my friend Nick Xinopoulos, who is a Regional Vice President for Trinity Pension Consultants. He'll introduce us to some new government incentives designed to help small business owners provide retirement savings plans to their teams. In particular, we'll discuss the relatively new Secure 2.0 Act that may be of particular interest to small business owners and their employees. You'll notice I called it Secure 2.0. That's because the original Setting Every Community Up for Retirement Enhancement Act was passed in 2019. Secure 2.0 was signed into law in late 2022. Our congressional friends are motivated by a growing national problem. Half of American households have no retirement savings. They understand the nation's 31.7 million small businesses and their 60 million employees are an important part of the economy. Yet only about a third offer retirement plans. Many business owners say they simply can't afford them. Today, Nick will tell us what the federal government has done to make it easier and more affordable for small businesses to offer retirement savings plans. So Nick, tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us about Trinity Pension Consultants.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate the invitation to join you on the Relational Podcast today. Basically, I've spent the last 17 years in retirement plans, and this Secure Act really is the most beneficial legislation that I've seen in terms of specifically helping business owners with the cost of startups for retirement plans. And so I'm glad we're talking about this today because, really there needs to be more awareness around this. And, so basically at Trinity, we're a third-party administrator, or a TPA for short. We work with advisors, financial advisors, and their clients to really just design and administer retirement plans to achieve efficiency for the business owner and really also to maximize their tax savings as well.
So you're the organization that will design the plans, as you said, work with an employer to get a plan that works for them in their particular circumstances. And then work with investment advisors as needed to make sure that the investments work for those employees.
Exactly. Perfectly said.
Okay.
That's right.
So starting at a high level, if the government wants small businesses to offer retirement plans, and they do, and small businesses say they can't afford it, how does Secure 1.0 and, importantly, 2.0 help?
Well, at Trinity, we've been focusing really on three very important provisions within the Secure Act. There's lots of provisions within the Act, but we focus on three. And so to help explain this, what I'm going to do today is really just use an example to illustrate what these three provisions are and how they work. So let's just say we have an ABC company and they want to start a 401k for their employees. We'll just say they have 2 owners and 8 employees. What we're going to do is talk about 3 different provisions, right? So the startup tax credit, there's an employer contribution tax credit, and then also retroactive plans. Those are really the 3 things that we've been focusing on at Trinity. So the first one with startup tax credit, basically how this works is there is a $250 tax credit for each what's called non-highly compensated employee for the first 3 years of the plan. So first, let's define what a non-highly compensated employee is, because that's important to note. There's highly compensated employees and there's non-highly compensated employees. Highly compensated employee would be typically the business owner. So anyone who owns 5% or more of the company. And then in 2024, someone who makes more than $155,000 a year would be considered highly compensated. So everyone else who is an employee of the company falls into the non-highly compensated employee. So someone who's not an owner and makes less than that $155,000. So the tax credit, the startup tax credit, is for $250 for each non-highly compensated person. In that example I gave you, ABC company has 2 owners, 8 employees. So you would just take the 8 employees times $250 and you get $2,000. So $2,000 for year 1, $2,000 for year 2, and $2,000 for year 3, for a total of $6,000 for the first 3 years of the plan.
So I know neither one of us are CPAs, but a tax credit of this amount says that basically, if your business is paying taxes, you're saving on what you're paying.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
for most business owners, a tax credit is more beneficial than a deduction. So that one's pretty straightforward. The contribution tax credit or employer contribution tax credit is really, this one's even more generous. It's up to $1,000 in tax credits per, again, non-highly compensated employee for any employer contributions the business owner puts into the plan. So your match, profit sharing, anything given to the employees by the employer. Now this one has a phase down schedule that is attached with it. So I'll use the same example, same company, same 8 employees. If they're given at least $1,000 over the course of the plan year, they're going to get back, the business owner will receive back $8,000 in tax credits for year 1. So that's 1,000 times each of those 8 non-highly compensated employees. $8,000 in year 2. Year 3 is 75% of that. So it's $6,000 in year 3, $4,000 in year 4, and $2,000 in year 5. So the IRS has designed it to step down as the years go on over that course of those 5 years. So for this example in this company, then that would be a total of $28,000 in employer contribution tax credits, which when combined with that $6,000 from the startup tax credit, it would be a total of $34,000 in tax credits for 5 years.
So these really add up. These are significant credits for a small business.
Yes, very significant. So the last topic would be retroactive plans. I covered the first 2 there, those 2 different tax credits. The retroactive plans, this is more of an option that business owners have to set up and fund either a profit sharing plan or a cash balance plan in 2024 for tax year 2023. That's up through their filing deadline this year. So with extensions, they would have to file an extension and then they would be able to take advantage of setting up a plan this year for the 2023 tax year.
So if they wanted to do that, would you be the guy that would get a hold of to say, how do I do this? And Trinity can say, yeah, we can help walk you through this process.
Exactly. Yes, we would talk with them about what are their limits, how much can they put in, what is the exact deadline for that company, which they need to fund the plan and create the plan, because we do create the plan document for them and make it official in terms of the government and everything. So yes, we would be able to guide them through that entire process.
So anyone, including small business owners, could find making retirement plan decisions intimidating. I think a lot of business owners are real experts in what they're doing. You start a small business because you have an expertise in something and you want to do it and you're excited about it. My experience with small business owners is they're really a pretty smart bunch of people, but starting a retirement plan can be pretty intimidating, I think, for anybody. Is it really that hard to do? Then really, where do I look for help? If I'm a small business and I don't offer a retirement plan, where do I look for help?
Well, first of all, I will say years ago, I have been a business owner. So I understand they wear several hats. They have a lot of responsibilities on their plate. And in many cases, retirement plans are lower on their priority list, understandably. But many of them are really looking to starting one, especially right now, given the tax credits we just mentioned. But, it's really not as hard as many would think. It's really a team effort. There's the business owner, which we refer to them as the plan sponsor. You have the financial advisor, and then you have the third-party administrator, so Trinity, who would be involved in that. So it's a team effort. And, by the way, the financial advisor and Trinity as a TPA, we're going to do a lot to help them with that heavy lifting that's involved with starting a retirement plan. I'll mention that first of all. Decisions that would need to be made, time and budget, basically, for a plan sponsor, a business owner. It's operating the plan and the time that takes to do that, and then budget-wise, how much are they going to have to put into it? Those are all topics we're going to talk about with them and help them understand how much is really involved with it and make sure they have all their questions answered. So no one's alone in this. We're going to guide them through the whole process, partnering with the financial advisor as well to help with all the aspects that they help with. For that business owner or plan sponsor, they're going to start with a financial advisor. If they don't already have one, they can call us, call me, call Trinity, and we can recommend a local advisor to them. And for the advisor, we at Trinity, we are the partner for them for information, education, helping them to just basically succeed in growing their business.
So are there types of retirement plans that employers need to know about, or do they just need to get a hold of you and say, here's what I'd like to accomplish, and then based on that, you can help them figure out what they need?
Yes, I would say what you just mentioned there last is key. We like to learn from them what are their goals, where are they right now, how many employees do they have, what are they trying to achieve through the retirement plan. And there really are a few different kind of basic small business retirement plans. There's a SEP IRA plan, and then there's a simple plan, and then there's 401k. So those are really your few different that many people know about. We've already talked about this, and basically what we do is we educate the advisors on what's the difference between those three, and also the business owner if we're having that discussion. Well, what are the benefits of each one? Which one provides the most of an ability to put away the most amount of contributions? What are the limitations of the other two different types of retirement plans as well? So we go over all those differences. One of the things that we do during the process as well that helps the business owner out a lot is we put together a concept or an illustration to show them how much they can put into that retirement plan compared to the other ones, and what's the efficiency of the plan, how much is the tax savings. There's a lot that goes into the differences between those three, so we try to make sure that everyone is educated and understands what they're getting into.
So some of the objections I know some small business people can have is it's great to get a tax credit because everybody is in a small business to make a profit, and we may want to serve people, we may have a passion for what we do, but at the end of the day, we all want to put groceries on the table and those sort of things. But there's also the issue of time. Small business people tend to be chief cook, bottle washer, HR department, payroll department. And so there's the time in administering a retirement plan. Does this have to be a big time commitment for that small business owner who says, let's say this example, you have 2 owners and 8 employees. Does this have to be a big time commitment?
I would say no. I tell that to a lot of business owners that once the plan is up and running, really you're just looking at a matter of minutes every pay period. Once the plan's up and running and you have, like you said, the payroll company who's already set up to withhold the employees' contributions they are putting into the plan, and then the employers decided what they're going to put in terms of match maybe, then really every pay period it's a matter of you logging into the record-keeping system, making those deposits. In many cases, the payroll company is going to help out a lot with that. Depending on the payroll company that they use, they can create a bridge from the payroll company to the record-keeping system, to the actual plan itself, in which they can make the deposits for the business owner. It just depends on the payroll company, and that's something we can talk with them about, but that can save some time as well. And each year, for example, if they were to do a 401k, this is where there's an advantage to using a third-party administrator like Trinity, is that we will complete their 5500, which is an annual tax document you create for the 401k every year. We'll create that document, sign it for them, and file it with the IRS. We're trying to take as much as we can off of the business owner's plate because, yes, to your point, Jeff, they wear a lot of hats, and as much as we can do for them, the better. That will help them administering the plan.
I get the sense still that awareness of 2.0 and the tax credits and things like that is still relatively new for small businesses. Are you seeing a number of them knocking on your door saying, I want more information, I want to get started? Are you still finding that people are unaware and we need to build more awareness?
Absolutely. Awareness of the Secure Act tax credits it's still spreading. I think the economy has been on the minds of everyone, over the last few years. So we're still spreading the word on the Secure Act. I think there's just been a lot of distractions, over the last couple of years. So CPAs even are still learning more about this as well. And we at Trinity offer CPA continuing education credits through presentations that we do for CPAs that we partner with and to help make them aware as well. But financial advisors are still learning about this. And of course, business owners, I would say they know even less about it than advisors do. So yes, our goal is to get out there and inform those that we partner with and make sure everyone is educated on what these tax credits are that are available to them and how they can benefit from them.
And working with Trinity and other consultants to set up a retirement plan, clearly there is a cost to doing that, a cost of business. In your estimation, looking at the tax credits and things like that, would those tax credits more than cover the cost of setting up and running a retirement plan in those first years?
Yes. Honestly, when we put together our quotes or our proposals for advisors and their business owner clients, we incorporate an estimation of the tax credits into the document so they can see what those would end up being for them. So yes, those tax credits are really covering most of, if not all, in many cases, of the startup costs and the ongoing costs for those first 5 years of the plan as it's growing, which is really key. in helping them with those upfront costs is receiving back those tax credits. So yes, we show them how much that we could estimate it to be, and I think in many cases they're going to be very pleased with what they see, because our costs combined with a record keeper who's going to hold the plan, in many cases these tax credits are covering most of, if not all of them.
While our businesses, Relational Gravity and Trinity Pension Consultants, are in business, and we're in business to, among other things, make a living, we're also, I think, organizations, and there's many of them out there, that are passionately interested in seeing people be ready for retirement. So at least from my perspective, one of the biggest reasons to do this for an employer is to understand a small business, their success, or even a larger business, is because of their employees. And helping their employees financially be ready for retirement is one way to help show your appreciation for them. And I think that that's a passion for Trinity. I know it's a passion for Relational Gravity. I know we both talk to small businesses that they're also passionate about that. So I think this would be an answer for these small businesses who are looking for a way to help their employees in a practical way that can help them long term. So you talked a lot about Secure 2.0, its incentives for small business plans. I know because you've shown me the information, but I know Trinity has a lot of clear, digestible information for employers. If people want to get their hands on information, say, how do I get started? Is it as simple as going to Trinity's website, giving you a call? What do they do to say, I need more information just to inform myself?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. So yes, I mean, we have a website. It's simply trinitypension.com. And on that website, we do have some resources that are out there available to advisors and business owners. And I would say a good starting point, though, would be for the advisor to reach out to us. And so on that same website, there's a place for the advisor to see, based on the territory in which they cover as an advisor, which RVP they would reach out to. All of our contact information's out there, our LinkedIn profiles. You can click right and go straight to our LinkedIn profiles and just receive our cell numbers, email addresses, and they can reach out directly to us, and we would be happy to send them any information that they need, talk with them over the phone, or meet in person, even depending on where they are locally, and talk about the Secure Act. We can share different pieces with them that you've seen, Jeff, and educate them on what information they need to receive in order to educate their business owner clients. Our goal is to truly partner with the advisor. Our goal is to meet with them, develop a relationship, and get them the information that they need to share with their clients. And we're also happy to join them with their clients to go over this information. Like I mentioned, that concept earlier, share with them numbers, gather census data, share with them what that plan might look like in terms of budget. So yes, lots of good information available if they just reach out to us.
So there is another opportunity coming up, and I would say Nick and I have jumped into the kind of the business roundtable effort. And what we're focused on is having quarterly meetings for small business owners and their consultants, their advisors, their CPAs, that will talk about things they may need to know about retirement, setting up retirement plans, but can be a range of other things too. These are intended to be a dialogue that's not just educational for consultants and for small businesses, but also a place where like-minded people can get together to discuss issues of entrepreneurship, and in particular, the relationships and people aspects of valuing your employees and building a business and a good business network. If you are not on our mailing list, contact Nick or I. Our websites are available, relationalgravity.com. And Nick, what is Trinity's website?
trinitypension.com.
So go either place, and but also go to our LinkedIn company profiles, Relational Gravity or Trinity Pension, to get more information on these upcoming meetings. Thank you for listening to another Relational Gravity podcast. Remember, it's about relationships, always.